Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to another episode of Podcast Pundits. I'm Drayman. I'll be your host for today. True avid Man United supporter. We'll get into our game shortly. But before we get into that game, let's just go around the room, see who we got with us today. Full squad. Marley Ma.
Man United support here, repping the team, no, that feels like blasphemous, bro, because this is the devil. But repping Man United, let me cover this bit.
Is that the new kit?
No, this is the old one still. I don't know what I don't know. I got roped into the devilish campaign that they.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I do remember that one.
This is what made Fred leave, bruv.
Fred
Yeah, it's a nice kit. I think the same third kit this season is nice as well, man.
It's basic though. Yeah, I'm feeling it. The white one with the Palestine one.
You don't like it?
Nah, I'm really feeling it. I think the blue one's all right though, and even the home kit's all right this season. Sorry, Marley here, guys.
I'm moving on. De La Strada.
Yo, De La Strada, free agent. You know we do.
Is that a racket in your hand?
Yeah. I'm looking at for there's a fly. It's flying around, so I'm ready to kill this motherfucker.
It's a buzz zapper. With a buzz
zapper. People are saying that he changed the tennis.
I'm ready, V. See, when they come, they're gonna die.
I'm a large fan, but I was thinking, there's no way this guy's holding a tennis racket in his hand.
Moving on, Joey.
Yo, it's your boy Joey Nomadic, aka Liverpool supporter.
But you're not number one no more, no?
Huh?
Not number one supporter no more, no?
I'm tired, man.
It is, bro.
I'm tired.
It's been a long day.
No, you guys need to watch Traitors, man, because that was reminded me of a scene from Traitors.
Oh, I need to watch it, Sam. I need to write it down.
Watch the US one.
Yeah, that's what you said, isn't it? The celeb one, yeah?
Yeah, with Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, and other shows are available.
Yeah, and last but not least.
Pardon?
Yeah. Yeah, it's your boy. Yeah, you know that when you plug a show, you're meant to say, other shows are available. I don't know why, but that's what I always hear on the other media outlets.
Other shows are available. What do you mean?
Yeah, like other brands are available, other shows are available. You know what I mean?
When we're not endorsing Traitors, we're just saying, and if you want something to watch, there's something out there.
Yeah, exactly. So other shows are available.
Yeah, that's over my head. Of course, other shows are available.
Hey, someone brief this guy on how to be professional, but does it? We're big time now.
Yeah, I was gonna say over 100 subscribers on YouTube. Big up yourselves. Big up yourselves.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Strives, or you can call me Striver. Representing Arsenal. A couple of Arsenal fans have asked me to remove myself from the pod following my prediction, but yeah, man, I'm still here for you boys, man, and girls.
Fair dues. You can find us on all major platforms. It used to be called Twitter, but X now. YouTube, SoundCloud.
Why did you and Dan say that? We'll just call it X, man. Everyone knows it's changed.
Yeah, we should do. But when you're still used to saying Twitter, that's what I'm used to.
Yeah, exactly. Most people say Twitter, innit? So just to make sure
X, everyone will know.
But yeah, everyone knows you're talking about Twitter if you say X.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
For sure. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's fly into the first game of the season. Marley Ma. It was Man United 1, Fulham 0. Obviously, Xerxes got the winner, 87th minute. What was your overall analysis of that game?
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, we played well in the game. I mean, I think we did, man. We did.
Trolling already 4 minutes.
Yeah, no, we played well. We played well in the game. I think we controlled possession. I think what we saw is probably what I think most people expected. Fulham had their chances here and there on a break, on a counter. But I think for the most part, for Man United fans, it was a decent little performance. To be fair, I think we'll improve. I think we'll improve massively as the season goes on. There was a lot of positives. Well, I say a lot. I think the main positive that I can take from the game is that there was a lot of positives. I think Mazzarari played really, really good. Like I wasn't expecting him to play as well as he performed on the day. And Casemiro as well. Casemiro hasn't had the greatest of pre-seasons in my view. He's obviously looked a lot fitter than he did last season.
Yeah.
But on the game on Friday, he was probably our best player on the pitch. Yeah, man. So yeah, but from my perspective, it was a decent little performance, man. And I think we'll get better. Good for Xerxes to get on the team sheet early doors. But it's, people have highlighted that there's quite a few players that have get their debut goals at Man United. Like I think Martial was one of them. He got a debut goal, and was it Van der Beek? Was Van der Beek? I think there's a few Dutch players that get debut goals for Man United. But yeah, so yeah, man, it was a decent little performance. I was encouraged because on the day, 85th minute, obviously we hadn't scored, and I was getting nervous. I was like, oh, please don't be one of these seasons. Obviously we got the goal, and then I guess on the weekend we saw other teams also having not struggling, but not going over the line as comfortably as we probably would have thought.
Getting to grips.
What other teams are you referring to?
I think Liverpool struggled in the first half of their game.
Hey, let's stick to your team, huh?
I'm just yeah, isn't it? And then I think who did Arsenal play again? I think the team after was Wolves. I think Wolves looked all right as well up until they conceded their second goal. So yeah, man.
Would you say Man United was a?
So you watched all the other games after Friday and said, "Oh yeah, that's in line with Manchester United." Is that what you're telling? Is that what you're trying to tell?
No, what I saw is that after the Man United game, I was like, "Oh, this is." We didn't make that look easy. So it might be a bit difficult season. But then I saw obviously the rest of our,
But the other teams did win by 2 clear goals, though.
Yeah, but
but I was going to say Della. I was going to put it to Molly Moore. United obviously had, from what I remember, the 2 Bruno.
We had chances. Yeah, we had.
And then the one at the end with Garnacho, which was a waste.
Yeah, we had a lot of chances, and I think that's probably the main thing that we hope this season we can put right. And is that we do create quite a few chances. Bruno creates a massive amount of chances. The hope is that this season we're able to put away more of those chances that we pretty much squandered last season. Bruno's obviously missed a couple, but he's not a striker. I mean, he's been doing well to in that shadow striker role. We'd obviously played in the FA Cup final and it worked, and he played in the Community Shield and it worked as well. But I would like to see the likes of Xerxes and Højlund coming into the team and taking that spot, and Bruno can drop back a little bit. But yeah, man, it was a first game of the season. Yeah.
Speaking of the Xerxes, just want to say big him up for his goal in it, because I didn't really like the way that certain man on our panel just speak about him in it. But yeah,
okay. How did certain man in the podcast speak about him?
Yeah, just I'm just saying, I really appreciate the way that they were just rubbishing him and just reducing him to just being a guy that just brings other people into the play only. You know what I mean? It says he hasn't got a good goal scoring record, so it was good to see. No. Wait, can I just? I'm talking to the Man
Say
United
what the
man.
person on the podcast said.
Who is the person?
Who is the person?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Say names and tell the listeners what that person said.
Odds on favourites.
It must be. I don't know why. It's for who the shoe fits.
No,
but
but
anyway,
can you tell the listeners what this person said?
well, yeah, this person said that Xerxes doesn't score goals. He's not a goal scorer. He's a facilitator. And that the other person in question that was saying he wouldn't mind him or would have liked to see him at his team, he's just saying his name because he just wants a new shiny toy, and Xerxes was potentially not gonna hit the ground running. So it was good to see. I'm just saying it's good to see.
Can I respond?
Get a debut goal. That's all I'm saying.
The fans are going to get the impression that you're the person. Are you the person?
Yeah, it's me. Not to go off tangent, we can go back to the United thing, but this is how how people get labelled and things go completely the wrong way. Mal, do you remember? Did I say Xerxes was a good signing for United or not?
Yeah, you probably did.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I said it was a perfect signing for United because they have a different profile in a striker than Højlund. Xerxes, his profile is similar to a Havertz and it's similar to a Jesus. So why would you bring a third player who's very similar? I didn't say he didn't score. He's not going to score goals.
Okay,
I said he will score goals, but he's more of a facilitator.
Okay.
But you're good at English.
Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I got that wrong.
You know
bro.
you got it wrong.
Maybe I got that wrong.
Definitely key.
Bro, all I was doing was saying big up Xerxes. I don't know how this.
No. You
came,
can
what
say
this
big.
is.
You can say big up Xerxes, but you know you're trying to throw a shot there.
I wasn't
You
showing up
definitely
for-
missed. But
Okay.
host, carry on.
All right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I was just gonna say to Marley, what did you think overall as well of Ahmad and Mount?
I think there's going to be a frustration with Mount, because he does a lot of things. I say a lot of things well. He presses pretty well. He's good at recovering the ball. But I think his final his end product in the final third. I remember it being a little bit better at Chelsea.
A lot better.
Yeah,
A lot better, bro. Even his like short passing, bro, has just gone down.
Yeah, it's but you do see flashes of what he was doing at Chelsea. And obviously the Chelsea, I mean, you can't the Chelsea fans, the Chelsea coaches, they big him up so consistently that I can't imagine that he's not going to be some kind of successful at Man United.
I mean,
maybe not.
He was out a long time as well.
He was out. He was
Give
out a
him-
long.
He needs a bit of a run, doesn't he? Really.
Absolutely.
He's had a long preseason, man. He was back from last season. Like by now, he should be like ready
Yeah,
to
I
go.
agree.
No, I think he's getting up to the speed. I think he'll be a good sign. I think he'll be a good asset to Manchester United. Whether or not that's going to be in the first team consistently, or whether or not it's coming off the bench, I think he'll be a good asset for Man United. But on Friday he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. And same with Ahmed. Like obviously we saw Ahmed in preseason. He was looking like he's going to be the guy. And I think on Friday we didn't see too much of that. I think he done some nice things, some nice take-ons. But I think there's still a lot more to
flashes in the pan more than consistency.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come from him, especially when you've got Garnacho that's missing sitters. Like, so you can't. Obviously, Garnacho got the assist, but I don't think Garnacho automatically comes in the team straight away. He probably will, but I don't think it's a shoe on that he's going to get into the team straight away. So Ahmed's got a chance to redeem himself, I'd say. And
just finally, should Maguire be worried now? De Ligt came on.
No, absolutely not. Not from Friday's performance. I mean, credit to Maguire. I think the pressure of not having the armband has improved his performance somewhat. I think since that's happened, it seems like either he's got something to prove, and it's impacting his performance in a positive way, or the weight of that captaincy has just been lifted off his shoulders. He actually played really well on Friday, and he played so well to the point where I can't say De Ligt comes into the team automatically. Yeah, he played that well, and I think it's only, I've always said I think it's only fair that players, if they're playing well, they should only come out of the team if they had a bad performance or they drop off somewhat. I don't think De Ligt should come into the team straight away, and that's coming from someone that, you know, I've been a massive critic of Harry Maguire in the past.
Maguire, yeah.
Sorry, Harry Maguire in the past.
Bar his dive, I don't think he put a foot wrong. He did quite well, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
Weren't you frustrated by his because there were some periods where he just had the ball and not much pressure on him, and he was just hoofing it out. Well, the pitch, he just wasn't playing football, bro.
On Friday, I mean, he does that raking crossfield pass that
it wasn't for the raking. He just like booted it out, and I just remember, I can't remember who it was that was playing on your right centre midfield. It was just like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, like there was no pressure. And he just
I can't recall. I recall him switching the ball to Rashford a couple of times and it being successful.
Yeah,
I don't notably remember anything that was like, oh, this is Maguire at his terribly best.
He did try some like probing runs through the.
Yeah, see that part of his game, he can leave that part out.
Okay.
Like, we don't.
They weren't like successful, but they resulted in like United throw-in or something. So he definitely advanced to play.
Yeah, we don't need to see that part of the game. But I know when Fulham broke and it was like 2 against 1.
Worrying still.
Yeah, but Maguire done is great Van Dijk impression where he managed to, you know, stem the danger. So I was pretty proud of that. He played well, man. Credit to him. Credit to him.
I think I wrote it in the group as well. I was still a bit frustrated that United seem to do that thing where they kind of try to put as many bodies forward as they can to try and get a goal, but then could typically go on to lose that game if a team is good on the counter attack.
Yeah. But
isn't that kind of part of your man's style of play? I know that phrase is coming into play again, but you guys try to get your forwards into the box, and you try and pen your opposition in. Ain't that kind of what you guys do? Like,
yeah, we commit a lot, and it's very, very high risk, and sometimes it's gonna fail. But sometimes, hopefully, what I'm hoping is that we start taking more of our chances where we kill the game off, where the threat of that happening isn't as massive as when it's 0-0, for instance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You see,
man.
Sorry to cut. You see, where you've predicted United to finish in it was top 3, I think it was.
Yeah.
So from that game, as that from that game, as that kind of like giving you the confidence that your prediction was kind of on song, or are you having second thoughts?
No, not so much from that game. To be fair, I mean, I thought it was pretty comfortable in the game, but for us to get third, we need to start putting these chances away, and we created a lot on Friday. So once I start seeing that, and I there's nothing to suggest that we won't be in that position. Once I start seeing that, I'll be more confident. But yeah, I didn't take too much from the game. I thought we would win. I thought we'd win more convincingly than the 1-0. To be fair, but I didn't take too much from that game. I think it's when we start, when we face the more difficult opposition, probably away from home as well. I think that's probably where the measure of Man United is going to be this season is away from home, and also against the top 4 teams or top 5 teams. How we deal with those teams. That's where you'll see what Man United is about this season.
Yeah. I think that's fair, because I think, like, just from an outsider's perspective, I think if I was a Manchester United fan, I would know that Rome weren't built in a day. Obviously, you guys have been building for more than a day, but if you compare your start from last season to this season, I swear Wolves had you guys on a rope. So it was
shocking.
Yeah, like they pulled you off the pitch, but obviously you guys won the game, but the scoreline didn't tell the story. Whereas on this side, I'm personally rooting for ESR, and I just think Fulham's an all right team, to be fair. And I felt like I would say you guys dominated most of the play there, had most of the chances, had a more favourable XG. So yeah, I know I saw some like talks that United still look like the old United, but I'd probably disagree with them and say I could see like some incremental improvements, and I think
very wasteful Fulham though,
and United.
That's true. That was
United. Yeah.
Yeah, that was true. There, Fulham was a bit wasteful. It did give you the feeling that a better team might have punished you, but at the same time, I'm looking at the bits of where you improved, and I think that you will finish higher than 8. But I just wondered if you thought you would still get your top 3.
I mean, how I summarized it was the game was that, I mean, it was a good to get the win, but a win in that manner doesn't get the critics off Ten Hag's back. Like,
yeah, for sure.
He needs to be. We need to be more convincing than that.
That's fair.
So but I mean, we roll on to, when is it, Saturday? We playing Saturday, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, moving on to Brighton.
Wait, sorry, Brighton. Trey, what did you think about it?
Overall, there wasn't, like I said, I think just wasteful. It was just good to see him start with like a couple of like decent like new signings. See how they got on. I think, like Marley Marr said, Mazraoui, I think he played well, man. Gave a good account for himself. Very comfortable on the ball. And he seems to give the right pass. Yeah, good tackler. Gives the right pass. Yeah, only time will tell how good he really is. Obviously, it's just the first game. But I think, like, coming into the team, not really training much and going straight into a Premier League game, I think he did exceptional, really. But yeah, like I said, just United were wasteful. We could have been punished again. I saw cracks of last season. And Xerxes saved the day, to just sum it up. Almost save United's face in terms of for not securing the 3 points early in the game. But I think like 2 clear opportunities. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, he needs a better celebration. His celebration is dead, man.
I think he was surprised to
wait,
score.
wait.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear what he was going to say, guys.
He was a surprise, isn't it? That's why he didn't have a celebration.
Why was he surprised?
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe he doesn't score often.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
It's not his job description.
He's done that celebration before. That's the celebration. I'm saying is dead, but he needs to improve it, bro.
Yeah. So what do you think of going on before I wrap this one up? The next game, Molly Brighton away.
Brighton away is going to be tricky. They won on the weekend, didn't they? Who did they beat? It was 2-0.
Everton.
I think it was 3-0.
3-0.
3-0 against
And
Everton.
it was at Goodison Park as well.
And it was a goal disallowed as well, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, but they I know Ashley Young got sent off. It's a tricky game. Brighton's always a tricky game. So I mean, we'll see. This is one of the teams that gave us problems last season. So I mean, yeah, we'll see how we do against them. I think we should. I think we should win. I'll be surprised if we don't win again. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see.
Cool. Moving on to our next game, then it was Ipswich 0, Liverpool 2. Jota and Salah scored the goals as Slot starts his reign with a Liverpool win. A game of two halves, Joey. Would you sum it out like that?
Yeah, most certainly. Yeah, McKenna, he done his research, man, because everything that I think during the pre-season episodes that we were recording, just talking about the type of play that Slot wanted to do, he kind of matched it perfectly. So they kind of like pressed in a 4-2-4 formation, which is how we were kind of like building up our play from the back. So every player that got the ball just had someone on them instantly. We didn't have no time, and then they just kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but they just beat us physically. Like I was going to say out physicaled us. But yeah, they beat us physically in that game, man. Like they were just running more than us. Definitely like spurred on by the home crowd as well, man. They played really well, man. Hutchinson looking like Martinelli should never play for Arsenal again, bro. He is.
This has got nothing to do. This has got nothing to do with us.
Absolutely nothing. That's exactly what the Arsenal fans said with us. To our group as well, bro. But no, yeah, they played well, and I think even like Andy Robertson was just frustrated in that first half, man. He was just looking tired, just getting muscled out by this next guy. Like didn't win one header as well, and then he was just like slow to react as well, man. So it was very frustrating. And there's like I think even MJ must have said like what, because the group was a bit quiet. He must have Marley Mar said that nobody's really saying anything in this group, innit? And he said that well played to Ipswich. And I think I lost my rag and I said, nah, they're playing shit, man. It's Liverpool that's playing dead, man. But they did play really well in the first half, man. But
they did.
But yeah, obviously halftime comes around and then.
But does that go to show? I was going to say halftime came and the players almost reacted to Slot's halftime team talk, so they're kind of they're behind him. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So my question was, I need to know what he said to them, because some people think it was literally just a change of personnel in Kwanzaa, because in that first half, bro, like I think we lost like. Ipswich won 60% of their duels. They won 64% of all their tackles attempted as well. So they were up for it, man. But obviously, like Jaro Kwanzaa came off and Konate came on. No, not injured, man. And we lacked the physicality, so he brought him on, and then obviously that stat in terms of the duels and the battles won, it just completely changed. We started winning everything in that game. But yeah, I want to know what else was done in terms of if he said anything else. But a lot of people think it's just the fact that Konate came on. When he came on, like Kwanzaa's not really good at his positioning and reading the danger on that right hand side, because Konate's got the pace, and he definitely beat the lap in every single battle. He's got the pace on that right hand side, so that just frees up Trent.
Yeah, I was going to say, freed him up in the second half. Yeah. Because in the first half, him and Gravenberch, they weren't really showing for the ball in their danger spots, because Gravenberch, the reason why he's supposed to be there is that he can play in the tight spaces and can play on a half turn as well. So we weren't really getting that from him in the first half, and I think
maybe it just takes a bit of time for you to warm up in that position because he hasn't been playing that 6 role for us, and not necessarily been playing it in preseason either. So I think it just took a bit of time for him to warm up into it, man. But yeah, Trent pushing on just changed the game completely for us, man.
And I would say, like you said, Ipswich being at home, newly promoted team, the hype of the first game of the season. I think you boys did well because I think I think a lot of teams are gonna struggle when they go there this season. I think it's gonna be almost like, Luton at home. They had that kind of effect on teams.
Yeah,
where they struggle.
The Luton one, I think, was maybe because like the stadium was a bit small, so it was a bit raucous there. But Ipswich are a team Premier League, well, top division pedigree, in it. So, do you know what I mean? They are quite a big team in that standard. So like they'll feel like they're back home in it, and the fans will probably want to do as much as they can to stay up there. So yeah, I think you're right on that. Another interesting thing is that like in terms of the goals scored, they were pretty similar to the goals that we were scoring in preseason as well. So I'm one of those people that I don't think preseason really means much, but obviously Strives is of the opposite camp. But I think both goals came from kind of like the centre back bouncing the ball or playing. I think they call it wall ball in terms of slot style, but just literally bouncing it off somebody in the middle. And then the pass going forward. So I think the first game goal came from a 1-2 from Trent and Salah. Bounced it back, and that pass from Trent was nasty, but everything that we're used to. And then the next one was a bounce into Gravenberch's feet, and then Virgil played that trademark ball cross field as well. And then obviously Soboslai got the assist on that goal, man. But yeah, it was a relief at first for them goals to be scored, for the first goal to be scored, and then in terms of how we just controlled the ball and went into cruise control, that was good to see as well, man. And it's nice to see a manager just come in and say, you know what, this ain't working, let me change it up, bro.
Yeah,
let me change it up straight away, man. Like, this is not what.
What's that in comparison to Klopp?
No, not in comparison to Klopp, just in football in general, man. Because like I wouldn't be mad.
Leave it too late sometimes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he gave Cancer the opportunity to redeem himself, because you kind of want to you want to salvage the player after as well. But if you saw Quance's face when Salah scored that goal, man, he was not happy at all, bro.
I'm sure he didn't celebrate, did he?
No, he didn't celebrate at all, man.
But I was going to say, talk to us about Mo Salah. He got a goal and he got an assist.
Yeah, no, there's brothers that listen to this podcast. They know who they are. They said to me that Garnacho is going to get more goals and assists than Mo Salah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's you're on mute, Marley Mar, still. But
it's not Garnacho.
No, I'm not saying it was Marley Mar, but whoever was listening to this and said that, bro.
Who said that? So said what? Sorry.
No, I would never name names. He said Garnacho is going to get more G&A than Salah.
No, they did. They were trolling, bruv. And even as the Man United fan, they were trolling.
That's what I tried to tell him, but he said, let's put some money on it. So we put some money on it.
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
But it's 1-0. It's 1-0 though. It's 1-0. Like, the assist counts. The assist from Garnacho counts. So yeah, man. But yeah, it was just good to see everybody winning.
Salah broke a record as well, wasn't it? Like the most opening 9. Who's that? So who was? I think was it Owen that had it before? Who was?
It was
Lampard, Shearer, and Rooney.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They all had 8.
So now Salah's got 9, so he's got a record. And then Gary Neville was saying something like he's got some next record, 300 goals and assists for Liverpool. Like I was trying to find what the record was, but I'm certain I heard him say it like in one of his media outlet things that he does. I think his podcast maybe it was.
Yeah, you know what though, it's just like you just want to start off with a win, man. Especially because you know that everyone else is going to be on it, man. So it's good for a slot. It's a great way to start. Obviously, certain people were saying that it's because it's against a newly relegated team, but
newly promoted.
Newly promoted team, yeah.
What? Certain people again? These certain people that have a lot to say. Man.
We should just call it. We should just name them certain people. You know. Stop calling them Della. Call them certain people.
Why don't you ever listen to us?
No, I'm joking. Nah, what you said was true, but it was just unnecessary to be said. It was just a hate comment.
If it was true, it was true, right?
But for the listeners that probably don't know the backdrop behind that story, I think was Delestrada said something along the lines of, "It's easy to get."
No, I said it helps.
It helps.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
helps.
keyword helps.
It helps. So what is it true?
It
that
helps when Liverpool's opening day fixtures are against newly promoted teams.
Is that a true thing then? Like
I don't know how true it is.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, you played Norwich about twice.
Yeah, it's
in the
probably
last
true,
8 seasons. We played Norwich twice. We played Leeds and we played Ipswich.
Yeah, and that's 4.
So 4 out of 5. I don't know, man, but
It contributes. I didn't say that's the only reason. I said it helps.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
fair.
That's fair.
That's fair. Certain people got it right this time.
no, I'm saying though, but it also helps that you eat breakfast before you play football. Like,
Yeah, if it helps,
why
it
does
helps.
matter, bro? But why are you stating the obvious, though, bro?
Because some people
It
may not,
helps if you go to church the night before.
because some people may not know. So sometimes you got to
True.
state the obvious.
Oh, fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's a fair. It's a
Like
fair
it helps
point.
with Strive using an alarm clock, and he will be on time most times. But it's obvious. But
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Nah.
You
no,
know-
but I'm saying
you know what?
it's
You know
stating
what?
the
You,
obvious.
you knew what was
But it
going on
helps.
there. That's nasty.
No, I wasn't talking about today. I'm just talking about. I said
Oh, okay.
using an alarm
Yeah,
clock.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
But I
what
don't
did you
think-
not think about the game? Sorry, just in terms of
Go
from
on,
the,
Della.
from
Della,
the people hate watching, because obviously I hate watch the United game and I hate watch the Arsenal game. So
Della,
It's always
did
good
you
to
see?
hear
Did
what
you
they
see
thought.
that one, Della? If we just bring Della in as well.
Yeah, I watched it. I think it was a good game. I think Ipswich gave a good account of themselves. I was particularly watching Amari. Is it Hutchinson?
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson, yeah.
Hutchinson. And I don't know if he was playing in the number 10 or
So he started out wide, and then he basically the commentator said that when he was playing in the Championship, he gets gifted a free role.
okay. I was just watching him, just seeing like obviously the link to Arsenal, seeing if he could have probably made it at Arsenal, and I think he's not Arsenal level, he's not Arsenal quality. But I think the guy that was playing on the right, I can't remember his name.
I think he's Scottish guy, something like that. But he was good as well, man. Yeah.
But I felt like if Ipswich had switched Hutchinson to the right, he would have got more joy, because the guy that was playing there, he was just basic, man. And when
Burns, was it?
Burns.
Yeah,
But you know what it
Burns.
is? Because he was winning all the physical duels against Robertson. So that's where they were getting loads of free kicks from, and they were kind of penetrating down that side as well. But Hutchinson pretty much played in the centre as well, man.
He played in the centre, but I think in the second half, towards the end of it, he then switched to the right and another guy came on the left. And Ipswich
Ben
looked a lot-
Johnson.
No. Johnson came on the right, but there was a guy that came on the left, and Amari Hutchinson switched to like a right forward.
Okay.
He was playing, yeah. I think when Ipswich done that, they looked better going forward. But to your point, Joey, maybe that guy Burns was playing on the right because of his winning fouls. So, but no, I think when I was watching, even though I put them as my relegation candidates, I do think they will probably.
They'll be all right. I think
they'll be all right. I need to see the rest. Leicester are doing all right now. Southampton, obviously they're lost, but I think they played decent against Newcastle. So
Yeah, they're all right. So
I'm not sure about my relegation candidates, but obviously, yeah. But overall, I think the Ipswich did okay, and Liverpool did all right in the second half.
How do we think Phillips is going to do there on Man City?
If he gets game time, he'll do all right. That's all he needs at this moment in time, just to play games.
He's definitely got the quality. I mean, obviously, his lack of quality is clear to see in a team like obviously Man City.
Yeah.
But for Ipswich,
You say lack of quality.
I don't even know if it was a lack of quality at Man City. I think it's just
comparatively to the rest of Man City, to Man City players. I think you can tell that he isn't of the level to play at a club like that. But in Ipswich, I think he'll be fine.
If he was given more game time. Sometimes football's a confidence thing. So
100%.
He went to Man City as one like Leeds' best players. He goes there, sitting on the bench, and he hardly gets game time. Then when you come on, it's like, okay, when did he even play?
Got 5 minutes to impress, man.
You know, so it's difficult. And then your confidence goes, and before you know it, yeah. But football, people forget that football's a lot of it depends on confidence, and when that goes.
His confidence is definitely shot right now because he's gone to so many clubs after Man City and loan and
West
stuff.
Ham,
And he's just having mistakes.
And then got dropped from the England squad as well. So yeah, he's having a stinker.
He couldn't have gone any worse at West Ham, you know.
Oh, for real. Yeah.
True.
What was it? Was it his opening, his debut? He got sent off, or was
I think
it
he
own
got
goal?
last year.
Oh,
He
penalty.
got sent off like 2 or 3 times, or was it like he gave away penalties? Like
They gave away
penalties,
penalties a few times. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then he got sent off. So yeah, it was an absolute
Yeah.
stinker.
I was gonna say, Joey, before I move on from Liverpool, Endo was on the bench, right? Didn't come on. Nunes as well. They didn't feature.
Well, I think
And it-
Nunes obviously he's at the back of the pecking order behind Jota and Gakpo, rightfully so. Also because I don't think he's been inspected properly since returning from Copa America duties. Endo, yeah, I think I said it last week. They need a ball playing number 6. Not only do they need a ball playing number 6, they need somebody who can play on the half turn and somebody who can play in tight spaces if you want to do the wall ball or slot ball, whatever it is they call it. Endo, again, I do think he's an accomplished player, but in terms of sometimes it just looks like he's got a hot potato when he's got the ball and he's just trying to get rid of it. And once he makes a mistake or has lost his confidence, he doesn't really show for the ball. And we saw in the first half of that game that there's no time for like players that don't show for the ball or can't make half spaces to play in. So that's not really strength, but obviously his strength is more of a destructive player in it. So there will be definitely game time for him. It doesn't look like we're going to be pursuing another central midfielder. So there'll be loads of game time for him.
Who you reckon you ain't going to make a signing this window?
Apparently that's what Richard Hughes has said, but
how do you feel about that?
Anything. To be fair, before we were linked with Zubimendi, I was resigned with the fact that we probably may not get any of the people that we wanted in this transfer window.
And who did you want?
There was nobody really identified as a name, and then obviously Zubimendi got mentioned, and everybody kind of lost their rag. But if we just pretended that we never ever heard that name Zubimendi, I think Liverpool fans would be a bit calm right now. But they've lost their heads in it. So
some Liverpool fans around me, they're not happy at all, man.
Well, yeah, they'll probably be at the protest on Sunday against Brentford.
Oh, right. There's a protest.
Yeah, FSG out, bro.
Yeah, because I was going to say, before moving on from the game, you guys got Brentford next. It's away, that one as well, I think.
No, I think it's at home. So that's our first home game. Yeah, that's our first home game.
Okay, how do you think you're going to do with that?
What's the Brentford score this weekend?
I
think I fell asleep just
2-1.
Oh, sorry, it's 2-1, innit? Against Palace, innit?
They got booped, but yeah.
Yeah.
The free kick?
No, I didn't watch the game, so I don't really know the capacity of Brentford. Did Ivan Toney play?
No, I think he got left out.
He dropped.
Yeah. So I don't really know what their capacity is, to be fair. Like last season, they were quite easy to deal with without Toney for us. So I'd expect us to win that game, especially at home. But we'll see, man, because it might be a different air in the stadium if there's a protest before the match.
Fair. Cool. 2 wins for the 2 Dutch managers. Moving on to our next game. It was the Arsenal game, where it was Arsenal 2, Wolves 0.
Just like I predicted. That was my prediction. We should do something here, like when we get a prediction right. That I don't know, man. There's something, man. Maybe we should do an accumulator or something. And
Give him a biscuit. Great, man.
I think I predicted 2-0.
Yeah, I don't know what's I don't know what's going on there like that. But we're good, bro. Like just because your predictions haven't really hit the ground running thus far.
What predictions? It's only one game of the season.
I know, but obviously it's just. He scored in his debut or whatnot, so it's just a little bit of egg on the face. But that being said, obviously, seeing as we're on the Arsenal segment,
go for it.
Havertz also scored as well, so Delo got some credit back in the bank for that because obviously he's put Havertz up against Xerxes, which will be a very good that's a very good head to head, very good bet. I'm really interested to see who wins that. My money is
win it.
My money's on Della. I think Della's gonna win it, but that's purely because Havertz plays for Arsenal and Xerxes plays for Manchester United. You know what I mean? Like he's got a more powerful machine behind him. You know what I mean? If it was other way around, my money would probably be on Amali Mal. So let's make of that what you will. But yeah, man, nice game for Arsenal to have. We have quite a decent record against Wolves, especially at the Emirates. So, you know, if you're going to be drawing a game, your opening game of the season, when you see Wolves, you would go into that with some degree of confidence. And obviously, I've made I've not been quiet about my dismay for our transfer activity and our strategy in the transfer market, but I was always quite confident that on the opening day we should have enough for Wolves, and it was that. It wasn't the scoreline doesn't tell the story. We won 2-0. It doesn't tell the story. I think Wolves gave a decent account of themselves. I think they definitely have enough about them to be secure in the Premiership. Like, there's probably like 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams that have a lot more to worry about than them, just going by the way they played against us. So yeah, if I was a Wolves fan, I wouldn't, you know, be too dismayed. I might maybe feel a little bit aggrieved that maybe I could have got something out of the game. Maybe if you took one of those chances, could you have pushed for a draw? It was that kind of game. But ultimately, it was what you would expect from Arsenal, quite resolute defensively. There was an uncharacteristic little gaff from Saliba where he passed the ball. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. But outside of that, we survived that. David Raya, brilliant save in the first half to keep it 1-0. A lot of people and a lot of goalkeepers are saying that took some super tech, and that's probably one of the best saves they've seen. I'm not a goalkeeper by trade, so you know I can't qualify that. But from just where I'm as a football fan and someone that enjoys the game, that I don't know why Joey is making those faces, but I would say that was definitely a really good save from David Raya, and obviously he won Golden Gloves, and he wants to retain that. Award, and I thought that was a brilliant performance from him. What else will I say? I would say it was good to see the boys run out a relatively strong team out for Arsenal.
Why'd you say relatively strong?
I say relatively strong team out because of we're fatigued. We haven't had that much rest. Obviously, some of our players has been at Copa America, the Euros and whatnot. So we're strong in terms of on paper, but in terms of like fitness and whatnot, you're seeing Declan Rice pulling up with cramp or something like that. I don't know that I've seen that happen before for Declan Rice. So just things like that. It was good to see Saka get subbed off early as well. Although it was subbed off at the 80th minute, 10 minutes plus injury time. If that becomes a pattern, that's a lot of more rest than he's used to, because we know Saka's probably going to play 50 games or so on the trot for us because we haven't signed an alternative player to compete with him for minutes. And I kind of understand the difficulty in doing so because, as we all know, I'm a massive advocate for Starboy Saka, and he didn't disappoint me again. I know there was some murmurs around the Arsenal camp that maybe he could have been subbed off, but a lot of Arsenal fans, in my opinion, don't know what they're talking about. You don't sub a guy like Saka off when you know there's some magic or brilliance in him. I think his assist for Havertz was I was going to say perfect. That might be strong, but it was brilliant. Quick, whipped ball, curve on it. Havertz with a brilliant header. And it was nice to see Havertz obviously open his account on the first day of the season. I was listening to Marley Marr talking about Mason Mount, and I was having bare inside thoughts, but I thought I'll let Marley Marr have his moment and not interject. But it was so funny that once upon a time he was doing Mason Mount versus Kai Havertz, obviously both coming from Chelsea, and we was wondering who was going to be the hit. And obviously I'm listening to an aggrieved Manchester United fan hoping that Mason Mount can pick up form and become, what Chelsea fans have celebrated him for Manchester United. And I'm looking at Kai Havertz and he's over-delivering on what I expected. I was very, very negative. I would admit that about that signing. I didn't expect Havertz I didn't expect to spend 60 million on Havertz and him to raise our floor or ceiling. I just thought, what are we doing? Why have we given Chelsea free money? But what a buy.
Technically, with Mason Mount, he's probably going through the same at the minute, I said not trajectory because we don't know if he's going to be good or not. But Havertz didn't start particularly great either.
But we acquired our players at the same time, and
Mason Mount was injured all last season though, so we haven't really seen him. Is what I was getting at. Is my point.
Yeah, no, I get it, and as much as I'm saying it with a little bit of tongue in cheek, I understand the circumstances, surely, but I'm just saying it. Just as I was listening to you say that, I was a little bit more I had a smile, like when your heart is glad. I'm just like, right, that was me a year ago. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
now I'm looking at Havertz, and this guy's looking like he's got to be one of our go-to goal scorers. Like, I can't believe those words are coming out of my mouth. You get what I mean? Like, this guy, like, to get your Joey Nomadic last season was kept on goading me, saying that we gave him charity goals. Now this guy's confident, bro. He's scoring goals off his own back. There's some people in our fan base that think Havertz is gonna, believe it or not, are gonna get 20 goals in the Premier League campaign. I don't believe that's gonna happen personally, but just to have those kind of discussions happening around the Arsenal and the Gooner fan base, it just shows the leaps and bounds that Havertz has come up. But so just big up Havertz. He did have a bit of a clunky performance, though, if I may say. I felt like at times he was a little bit anonymous, but goal and assist for Havertz, can't complain. Goal and assist for Saka. You saw Saka's goal, beautiful. This guy, I reckon he's gonna every season. Like, if there's an Arsenal player that I can depend on, it's always Saka. Like, he's gonna up his contributions. I think he got 16 last season goals, maybe. I don't know how many assists. He's gonna go better this season. I have no doubt that he's gonna do it. But this guy, definitely, in terms of right wingers, he's making a solid case for being like one of, if not the best in the world. He's not. I'm not saying he is at the moment, but he's making a good case. Like, you would struggle to name. You'd struggle to name that many better than him. You might say Mo Salah. You won't. I think it'd be. I think you'd be taking a piss if you already started saying Lamine Yamal was already better than him. Let the guy play. Let the guy get some games under his belt first. You'd struggle to name many right wingers that's better than this Bukayo Saka guy. But at the same time, everybody would be hesitating to give him a world-class tag. You get what I mean? Just because he hasn't won that honour, which is why I really was. That's the reason I wanted England to win the Euros, mainly for Saka. Like I've got people calling me Tommy Robinson because of that. But anyway, we digress. Yeah, man, great performance. No, I'm lying. It wasn't a great performance. It was a decent performance for Arsenal. We got it over the line. Thomas Partey, I thought he's getting a little bit of criticism. I think it's a little bit harsh. I thought he was okay in moments. I feel their performance for Partey is what you would expect from someone that didn't play a lot of last season and had a bit of a preseason. You would expect that he might wane off towards the end, but I thought he was okay as well. I thought he was all right before. I thought Zinchenko was pretty decent as well.
Timber came on for him.
Timber
that was
came
good
on
as well.
That was good. And what was nice about when seeing Timber come on, he still looks sharp. He still looks defensively solid. He can still make Maroon runs going forward. I would like to see Timber start personally. I
think eventually that'll be the plan, though, right?
I think we're going to use them both. I think we're going to when we're up against the low blocks and we need to be a bit more attacking, we're going to deploy Zinni. I think just when you're going up against teams such as Villa, when we go to Villa, we're away from home. I think you'll probably likely see a Jurriën Timber start there because he's a bit more defensively solid, and he's got the attacking prowess that Zinni possesses as well.
He'll start over Calafiori.
I think so. I mean Calafiori. I mean, he didn't really get that much of a preseason with us. Yes, he's come on. He gets like 20, 30 minutes at the end of games here and there. But I'd be shocked if Calafiori just jumped straight into a start in a big game against Villa. That's not a joke fixture. They took 6 points from us. I would sooner trust Timber than Calafiori. Not saying Calafiori won't be our go-to left back at some point, but we're still bedding him into the team just due to the lateness in which we signed him and due to the lack of activity he had during our preseason. So he's still learning the squad, still learning the patterns of play, getting his his fitness up to speed. But yeah, man, I'm gonna stop rambling now. Just
business as usual.
The business as usual, man. Business as usual. Obviously, I know I predicted us to be in the top 3, second or third, but I went for third. If I was gonna try and pick a flaw or a negative, maybe it would just be that was us. That was one of our stronger teams. Like I said, on paper, our stronger team. Some might say strongest, yeah. And I'm just a little bit worried that we're going so strong so early when some of our players have played in the Euros, played in the Copa America, and I feel like we're having to use like our first 11 ASAP. Whereas you'll look at Manchester City, our direct rivals at the moment, and you're seeing they're still resting their players and they're still doing a solid professional performance against Chelsea. And there's things like that that kind of reinforce my argument that we should have gone a bit harder. Like, we've got momentum and we should have gone a bit harder in this transfer window, so that I could actually get behind the club and say, yo, we're going to win the Prem. But yeah, like, we're always going to look good. We're always going to be in the mix. We're going to be in a title race. I just worry that with your Declan Rice is pulling up with cramps, Partey maybe not being as sharp as he is for the duration of the games here and there. Martinelli, he's still trying to come back into form. I don't know why we started with Martinelli rather than Trossard. Mikel Arteta is famous for saying earn the right to play. I think Martinelli needs to do that now after last season. I think Trossard should have started, but
I think he's probably doing it looking ahead to the Villa game. If Villa play a high line, at least you got Martinelli to run in behind, so at least he's just warming him up for it.
Warming him up. Maybe that's a good point. So yeah, in terms of the negative or con, if you can call it that, it might just be that I was looking at us deploying a strong team, and yeah, we got the job done and stuff. But then I'm looking at the guys we're trying to topple, and these guys are still playing, teams that you would call their second string and whatnot, and they're doing a professional job against Chelsea that's made 11 new signings. Maybe that's destroyed them, but at the same time, it could have also revamped them as well. So
who did Man City rest?
Walker got rested. Rodri got rested.
Wasn't Rodri injured?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know, because he was injured. Obviously, he was injured in Spain's last game, so I don't know if he actually come back. So technically, they didn't rest anyone apart from, obviously, Foden came on in the second half.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be the year where Rico Lewis takes over from Kyle Walker. So maybe that was the first team squad.
It was,
okay. It could be. Good points. But yeah, man, that's me with Arsenal, man. Nice performance, man. 3 points bagged, 2-0, like I predicted, onto Villa, man.
Della, anything else to add for the Arsenal game?
No. Strider said it all, man.
Okay.
Hey, have you seen the arguments going on about this Unai versus Arteta?
No, I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. They're picking up. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I remember we had this argument, but off air, innit? Like, Marley Mar's always going for Unai. It was interesting to hear what other people thought about.
What were they saying? What was their thought?
If I'm to summarize, it's kind of reflective of the arguments we would have. Like, so you've got those people that would say Arteta's probably a better manager than Unai Emery, just off the eye test and what he's done thus far. But then you've got some people saying you can't disrespect what Unai Emery's done. Unai Emery, he's got 20 years of managerial experience. He's won loads of trophies. He won Villarreal their first trophy, and including beating Mikel Arteta's Arsenal in that run, so winning that trophy, and also beating Manchester United within that run. He's won 4 Europas, and etc. And then the counter argument is, well, Mikel Arteta's only been managing for 4.5, coming up to 5 years. He's won an FA Cup. Unai didn't win anything in his first 10 years. Let's see where Arteta is after 10 years. And that was pretty much it. And a lot of people are saying Unai is the second best manager in the league. In my opinion, as someone that's watched Arsenal under both managers, I lean towards Mikel Arteta. However, I do caveat that by saying Mikel Arteta also was a benefactor. He had the benefit of a new Arsenal structure that had come into place after Unai Emery had left. And maybe if Unai Emery was afforded that same structure, and that's the support that Arteta's getting, it may have been different. And we're yet to see Arteta cross the line on a major platform. But personally, the way I enjoy watching Arsenal and enjoy football, I do lean towards Mikel Arteta, but I certainly don't begrudge those that might give it to Unai Emery.
So what are we thinking about the next game then against Villa before we move on?
Yeah, man, we have to beat them. It's not going to be easy, but we have to beat them. And in my opinion, I'm going to be very harsh on Arsenal if we don't. Because if you want to win the title, you go to Villa and you get the 3 points. Sorry, you have to go.
And is that the fixture you struggled with last season?
They took 6 points off us. They took 6 points off us. We completely played them off the park in one of the games. Which one was it that we won that we lost 1-0? Was it I think it might.
It must be your first game, because I think.
Yeah, but I can't remember if that was home or away. But that one, we were the better team. But that's where we saw that we need a striker.
Yeah, 1-0 was at Villa Park.
Okay, so we actually we boxed them, and we showed that we need a striker. You haven't given me a striker, so go out there and show me why we ain't got that striker. You know what I'm saying? I need. Let's pop them off the park and get the 3 points this time. So that's what I'm after, and that's where the standards have to be. I'm not prepared to be lenient. I'm not hearing draw. I'm not hearing nothing. But I want to win.
So
Cool.
just if I could go back, what you're saying about the whole Arteta and Emery thing. Who's a better manager out of Emery and like Jose Mourinho?
Are you asking me as in what I would say?
Yeah. I don't think you're thinking. Obviously,
I'm saying Mourinho.
Yeah. But how many people will take Jose Mourinho at the clubs now?
Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't.
Exactly. So sometimes when you look at the argument, it's not so much, are we just looking at what someone has done historically and that makes them a better manager? Because I guarantee you, if you ask all those people who are having discourse over that debate, who would they take as a manager right now? If their club managers got sacked and Arteta and Emery were both available, who are they going to take? I guarantee you a large proportion will say Arteta.
And I said that.
Answers that question.
But you remember when we said this in the group? Joey Nomadic and Marley Marl, I think they were lying, but they tried to say
Joey didn't say he will take Arteta. And he didn't say he'll take Emery because Emery had something to do with his style. Can't remember, but
I don't know.
Good memory, Della. Good memory.
But I swear out of the two, I'm sure you went for.
I think MJ said Emery.
Yeah. Marley Marl definitely said Emery.
Emery for me.
But he's lying, and you can hear the cadence in his voice.
I think Arteta, similar to Pep, these guys are fantastic with resources, bro. But if they can't bring the guys that they want, bruv, like, and bruv,
when you say resources, Arteta won the FA Cup with Emery's team. It wasn't resources, and that was his first season as a manager.
Emery would have won it as well, though. So
but he didn't win it. We
don't know that. We know why we don't know that.
He went to the Europa League final.
You can't surmise either. You can't surmise either. I'm saying that neither of you can surmise because he has shown that he can win in cup finals.
But not with Arsenal.
No.
Not with Arsenal because he lost to Chelsea's worst ever manager, bro.
But you only had one.
But he got there. Where's Arteta got, man?
You only had one final, bro.
He got
fair to say that about
quickly because Miles said, I can't remember what you said, but I think we just went off tangent. You said something he couldn't win. Yeah.
The resources is a big point.
Yeah, of course it's a big point. But all I said is that with that same team that Emery got sacked with, he won the FA Cup. So that shows that he's got the minerals and he got the credentials to coach a team to play football in a very different way. Emery took that same team, no discredit to him, to that same team and lost 4-0 in the Europa League final to a team that already got top four. And not to discredit Emery, but I think sometimes when people talk about football, I think it's probably a bit of like bias or prejudice or whatever. We can look at things that point blank, black and white, and say, you know what, Emery is a good manager in what he's done. But if you're saying, I want a progressive manager going forward, it's Arteta. So if Miles, if you're saying you wanted Emery, which is interesting because even when Emery was available, I don't think you would have probably wanted him before he came to Villa.
Who do we have?
You had Oli.
Whoever you had wasn't as good as him. But that's the point I'm making. It's like it comes down to the fact that whether you want to give Arteta credit or whether when people make,
I give Arteta credit, but what I've noticed is that it's mostly Arsenal's fan credit Emery, and that's because he was at Arsenal and he didn't.
But they have every right to do that because they've experienced both. The same way I'm saying to you, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer went to, let's say he went to Liverpool. And he was doing well. You still have that mindset of him at United and thinking, nah, this guy's not that it. I've seen him more times than anybody else. So that's where Arsenal fans are coming from. They're not discrediting Emery. They're saying, okay, good for him. He's doing what Villa. But at Arsenal, he didn't cut it. That's why he got sacked.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Sometimes that also supports the eye test versus stats argument as well, because you quickly reel off Unai's accolades, but then someone that lived it. and someone that became a avid boxing fan because of Unai Emery's Arsenal team, I definitely give my side with the Arteta side of the argument, and I'm very critical of Arteta, as you guys all know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see in the weekend if you can go 3 for 3, B.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's going to be
Fan for
interesting.
fan.
It's going to be an interesting game, that one. I think. I don't know why Emery always seems to have that fire in his belly for those games. Weird, anyway. But moving on to the other blockbuster game that was on the weekend. It was Chelsea v Man City. It ended up being 2-0 to Man City, and I'm just thinking back to that game and wondering how Enzo has been given the captaincy for Chelsea. Am I the only one thinking it's a bit crazy?
No, I think before we get into that, we should probably just start from the very beginning in terms of that's how Chelsea as a whole, in terms of how they're treating their players. Avi Conor Gallagher, Chalobah, now recently Sterling. It's distasteful. It's completely distasteful. And then on top of it, as you said, Dre, you've now made Enzo your club captain, and your current captain is obviously Reece James. He's sidelined. Your vice captain is Chilwell. You no longer want him, saying you should go and find another club. And then you give it to Enzo, who's got issues that's probably not been cleared up properly in
That's true.
camp. And on top of that, he's probably not one of Chelsea's best players right now because he was a sub toward the end of last season. So it just stinks. It just stinks, and it's like signing players for 7 years and then Chelsea are a mess, man.
The thing is, Chelsea have never been they're not honourable club anyway. Like they're pretty quick to cut managers, players, whoever it may be. Obviously, they wasn't as ruthless as it would seem as they are now. But I mean, they've always had that underbelly of just bruv, we do what we want, bruv. Like, so it's not really surprising. It's just disgusting to see it play out. They're playing Football Manager in real life, bruv. I'm hearing the João Felix deal is done now.
Yeah.
We're kind of going in the other way. João Felix is another one, bruv, because just last season he was saying Barcelona is a dream club. And now he's end up back at Chelsea. It's just a mess, bruv. With a bit of luck, they go bankrupt or get relegated, bruv.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the problem. They've got like 40 players that they can choose like senior players, and trying to keep all them happy throughout the course of a season. I mean, surely people must be going there for their 6-7 year contracts because.
Well, that is what they're doing. But even like the left back that came on,
Viega or something like that.
Yeah, like you're seeing players that you don't even recognize coming onto the pitch. I get what they're trying to do, trying to obviously reduce the wage bill. So all the likes of people like Sterling, maybe Chilwell, who was on like high wages. Yeah, you want to get rid of them and then replace them with long-term contracts on lower wages. I get all of that, but it's an absolute mess, man. Absolute mess.
Because I'm pretty certain the manager is probably like, like when you're just going there to pick a team, you don't even know who you're picking. Because he's looking at training and how is he differentiating who he's going to pick. If in theory, you've got like, let's just say it, almost like two teams that you can clearly put out on the pitch to play football with senior players. It's crazy. Like,
they're not in a good way. But it's their own fault, and more fault to the players as well that continue to go there on these 8-year, 9-year deals, bro. That are never going.
For them, it's a good. Like they're gonna get peas. They're on an 8-year contract, and if they go on a loan, but they're tied for 8 years. But your contractor, you know how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic, but I mean, you can't then go and say like you care about ball, like I mean, you care about your piece, bro.
I don't care about ball anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
for the transfer fees.
I'm wondering like when the penny's gonna drop at why Chelsea have gone for this model, because I'm still yet to see the benefit of it. Like, why are you signing? Maybe is it a PSR? Maybe like
I don't know. If they're getting rid of like the likes of people like Sterling and reducing your wage bill, I get it because you have players on lower contract for a longer period of time. Cool. but you need to everything needs to work out correctly. You know, all the players on high wages, you need to get rid of them. But how are you going to get rid of them? Because if 2 weeks ago, who's going to take Sterling now? I think it'd be a good signing for Arsenal. But if he doesn't go, what are you going to do?
What do you reckon Sterling will come to Arsenal and do backups or Saka or Martinelli or whatever?
Whether he'll come or not, like maybe, well, he's 29 now. He's been playing football for a long time. He wants to stay in London. He knows Arteta. But you got to give competition to Martinelli. It'll be a good signing for both parties.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just wondering if he would roll. I would take Sterling.
But yeah.
So how long do we think the manager's going to last overall?
Chelsea. Well, it depends. Some people think Chelsea's going to still be like it's still be quite a force. Like I don't know if you play FPL. On FPL, they said that the fixture difficulty rating was 4. It means they count Chelsea as a formidable opponent for Manchester City, and obviously Manchester City is the best team in the league or in the country. So I would say by most people's measures, Chelsea are like. Yeah, Chelsea are going to have a good season. I don't think they're going to finish inside the top 8. But then, funny enough, I was at my storage unit, and one guy there supports Chelsea, and I said this to him. I said, "Yeah, I don't think you'll make it top 8." He offered me a wager. I said, "Oh wait, let me watch a few games first. Let me not go too early." So you just don't know. Like with Chelsea, it's just the unknown, isn't it? It's just the unknown. Like
they played well yesterday, man. I think they played well yesterday. Like obviously. If they had a more accomplished striker that wasn't Nicholas Jackson, they would have got a couple goals, in my opinion. So,
but they have got Nicholas Jackson. That's the thing, and I feel like they've got
exactly.
But obviously, as somebody who had Darwin Núñez last season, there's still a confidence that is around your ability to create chances.
But then you got Salah.
No, but remember Salah wasn't firing last season, so that's when Jota was injured. So, like, my point is that Darwin Núñez was the only available striker, and he's of a similar fate as Nicholas Jackson, where the gods are not smiling upon them in terms of their decision making. So, but again, there is a silver lining in the fact that they're still creating chances and they're still in the right places at the right times. So, I mean, yeah.
I think decision making also comes down to confidence, because I started to double back on the Arsenal game. I think there was a time when Martinelli went for goal when he probably could have cut back to Declan Rice.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and I think that might be like
plays with his head down, don't it?
Yeah, exactly. Always.
Exactly, and I think he obviously just wants a goal as well to just get a little bit that pressure, that monkey off his back. And maybe when you're low on confidence, you make those kind of decisions.
Would be nice if someone gave him a penalty. But don't do your slow head turn like that.
I'm not gonna bite because Kai Havertz is the king of Germany right now. So you can say what you like.
But what we saying overall in terms of Man City, they're just still like starting as they mean to go on.
Bro, like Man City, so you look at Man City and you're looking at the Premier League champions start off their campaign with a very difficult first fixture, not their strongest team out on paper. Savinho's looking okay. He's looking Mahrez-esque. Foden's coming on in the second half. You know what Foden brings them, even though I thought he was bummy for England, but you know what he gives Manchester City. Doku
had an all right game.
Yeah, he has an all right game. With Doku, I think Man City fans will probably want to see a lot more end products now. Haaland,
a bit boring, innit?
Yeah, just a bit.
Same with Luis Diaz as well, to be fair. That's what other people are saying.
Okay. Haaland's Haaland, you know what I mean? Like, you watch Haaland, and then, like, for those of you that want strikers for your clubs, you're watching Haaland and you're just angry because this guy will just get goals out. This guy literally got a goal just by being a brute maniac with brute force. You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, I'd love a bit of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Man City, man, they're gonna be all right, man. And I would be shocked if they didn't sign anyone before the end of this window. So
there's talks of them signing Gundogan again.
Yeah.
Oh, from Barca.
Yeah, Barcelona
said they don't want him no more, man.
That's crazy.
Probably the wages as well, man.
No, I think that he doesn't rate the professionalism at the club as well, man.
Yeah, they also want to register Omar as well. Barcelona, every single season they've got this thing where they need to get rid of someone to register someone. The mean one, even like you don't get to 25, he won't be there, bro.
So just going back to Man City as well. I think they pretty much look like they just picked up where they left off, but well, I can't say whether Arsenal have improved on last season or not. But if they have, it's a great opportunity for them to overtake Man City, though, because I didn't see anything like super redeeming. It was like in terms of if you scrap the goals and just look at the chances created, it looked like the same Chelsea versus Man City fixture from last season, the same two, where they kind of struggled against Chelsea. So, I think this is a good omen for Arsenal, if I'm going to be honest.
What about for Liverpool?
Again, I'm still of the notion that Liverpool, I don't expect a manager to have a blistering season in their first season in the Premier League. But
he's already broke that omen of winning on his opening.
Yeah. It's definitely a good omen. Definitely a good omen.
It helps when you're playing a new team that has got promoted.
But anyone else got anything else to say other than Kovacic got a goal against his old team?
Yeah, the goal. I think Sanchez should have done better with that.
Terrible, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. But yeah, good goal from Kovacic, man.
I think it's crazy. Sorry, it's crazy to spend 1.2 billion they've spent or something and not have an accomplished goalkeeper.
Yeah,
that's insane, man.
Or
a striker.
They bought a new goalkeeper in this window.
Yeah, but I don't think they bought a goalkeeper that's here to stake a claim for the number one spot. Yeah, but not having an accomplished striker and centre back, goalkeeper is crazy, man.
Two crucial parts of the pitch as well.
It's the spine, innit?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll move on to the last bit of the pod, which is the back pages, quickly before we round it up. If I start with you, Marley Mar, who are you giving your back pages to this week?
Oh, Zexy.
No, absolutely not. I'll give it to Casemiro. Just because, he surprised me in that first game of the season, particularly being that he was pretty stinky in their pre-season. But he does look he looks in shape, so hold tight Ozempic.
Bella?
Wow.
Honorable mention to Killer Kai, my Killy, for grabbing his first goal. So yeah, the race is on between him and Xerxes. But back page has to go to the Brighton manager. My man's only 31. Was it Fabian?
Not 31, is it?
Yeah, he's 31. Young Dunny.
Scott McKenna's like 37 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he's young as well.
He's under 40. Shit.
Yeah.
What are you not doing with your lives?
I'm top project manager, right, in the country.
So you're giving it to Fabian Herzler?
Yeah, Herzler. Oh yeah, give it to him.
Joey?
I'm just gonna give mine to three of them, three under 40 managers. The three managers that debuted in the Premier League this weekend. McKenna, his team impressed. Obviously, Liverpool won on the slot one, and the Brighton manager as well.
Cool. Strives?
I'm going to give mine to Jamie Vardy, man. As we've been putting, Tottenham played Leicester. Leicester, a newly promoted team. A lot of people had Leicester to go straight back down. And they've just picked up a valuable point at home against Spurs. And Jamie Vardy, he's one match, one goal. Like he's a Premier League champion. I had it on in the background, and I saw him having some beef with Romero and a couple of the Spurs people, and just letting them know he's got one title. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got none. You know what, man? Opening your account with a goal and earning your team a point against some people's favourites to be in a top 5, top 6, top 4. Good point, man. So I'm going to give it to Jamie Vardy, man.
And the good thing about Jamie Vardy is that he's 37 and he's still doing that.
Yeah.
So I got to give it to the guy as well, to be honest, because he was doing that before they got relegated. But to come back and do it, fair play to him. My back page, I think I just give it to Mazzarari, just because.
You lot don't have to give it to Man United players, isn't it?
Really don't.
Nah, we don't. But I think he deserves them. He deserves a mention. Didn't really train, came straight into the team. Obviously, we lost AWB, and he just looked calm, composed, just doing all his defending kind of thing. I'm hoping he'll just push on from here anyway. Just he'll be someone that we've missed, especially in positions going forward. So onwards and upwards. But yeah, that was the first pod of the season. New season, here we go. Let's see how it pans out. And we'll see you same time, same place next week. We out.